So he's like, hey, I see this one's full. Do you have any more? I'm like, I can get you one. So I already was talking to this apartment complex and I already had it in the bag. So I'm not going to act on it because I pretty much want to follow the demand, right? So I pretty much told this dude, I'm like, yo, here's the place. Here's all the amenities. Here's the pictures of it, like of the place. And then I was like, hey, this is $2,000 a month, right? Guy comes in. He's like, hey, I'll give it to you for $2,000 a month. So we get the keys 3 days before he's supposed to check in. We already had everything ordered.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, oh, damn.
Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let,
Thrive. See, we can harmonize a little better now because we're in actually the same room.
the podcastle. We are back. It's been a while.
The podcastle, I like that.
Yeah, we haven't been in the same room in a while, man. We both been busy, hustling, living the life. What episode we on, Steve?
This is episode 57.
57. We're doing it. We're almost to 100, man. Remember we're like, hey, wait till we get to 50. Next one's gonna be 100.
Don't stop, can't stop.
Take that. So, man, what's been going on with you in the Airbnb world? You had a big interview, 2 weeks ago with Rachel?
Yeah, shout out to Rachel Prince. Yeah, learned a lot from her. She gave me some insight into how she's doing the business. She's getting money on all ends, man. She's an agent, she's putting people into spots. And she's out there doing her Airbnb hustle. She got her Airbnb school kind of thing going on, getting people on that. I mean, she's full-blown hustler,
Straight up. That's how you do it, man. And we're going to be touching on a few things from her because she had a guest on that I liked, and I actually learned how to create money out of thin air. We'll jump into that later because that's going to be a hot topic.
Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. Myka creates money out of thin air. Dun, dun, dun.
I know it sounds like a scam, but it's 100% legit.
Too legit.
Too legit to quit.
Oh, and there goes the first party foul of the day. My mic falls down. See, I got my mic. See, I had this set up for pretty much a one-person room because Myka's been doing remotely, recording remotely. And so I had to move things around, change things up. So I got my microphone on this little table on the top of a Kleenex box.
Got it on top of the puffs.
So a little bit ghetto, but you get it. As long as we record gold, that's all that matters. Elvis Presley did his first record in some little hole-in-the-wall studio, and a lot of people come up like that. 2 turntables and a microphone.
There you go. We'll be big soon. So
We'll be big. So you've been super busy, man. What do you want to touch on first? Because you said making money out of thin air, or what have you been up to? I know you got arbitrages going left and right.
Yeah, man. I've been arbitraging, getting units. I actually got a whole portfolio now that I'm actually just walking up to apartment complexes, getting units. But I'll go ahead and jump into the money out of thin air thing because I was sitting there today. I was getting my portfolio and I was about to go to some apartment complexes. And then this morning I signed up for TurnoverBnB, which is I heard about on Rachel Prince's. Actually, my boy Josh told me about it, but then I heard the owner of it on Rachel Prince's podcast. So I was like, TurnoverBnB. They're like, hey, you can just use this tool to pretty much automate your whole Airbnb. So I'll get on there. I'm like, okay, so what is this? I sign up. And it's a cleaner app. It's pretty much like an Airbnb for cleaners. Like cleaners just, hey, I'll come clean your place, right? So I was going through it, but the prices were kind of high. Like some people were charging like $70, $80 for one cleaning. I'm like, whoa, man. I'm like, my wife knows how to speak Spanish, so y'all better get it together with the, we can go get the Hispanics down the street to clean for $50, so. But then I thought of a business idea. I'm like, whoa, so hold on. You can hire somebody for $50 because this is how the platform works. All you need to do in order to get a cleaner is you just copy the calendar into TurnoverBnB and it just shows when you need a cleaner again, right? So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm like, I could just get 50 calendars and put them in here, right? So I'm like, I can create money out of thin air by hiring a cleaner. Yeah. I just charge, if I can get a cleaner for $50, I charge them $60, whatever. I take 10 off the top. and I get 10 of these things going at one time, and I'm not doing nothing but pushing yes, no, go to here, go there, that's easy money, man. It's easier than the timeshare business. I'm telling you, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, that's the new thing. So I think TurnoverBnB is going to create a lot of opportunities if you are savvy. If you're savvy enough, you can make some money off TurnoverBnB.
Yeah, I need to dive into it. See, I heard about it on a few sites. Well, actually, the first time I heard about it was on the Airbnb professional host page.
Really?
And someone asked about, apps that help you manage your cleaners or whatever. And a couple people said TurnoverBnB.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, cool. I went over there and I downloaded it. I didn't really do much with it. I get freaking busy. So I downloaded the app. And then I heard the creator of TurnoverBnB hop on Rachel's show. Mm-hmm. This is before I interviewed her. And he smart dude, because he started out Airbnb and all this stuff, and of course he saw a problem and he created a solution for it, and that's all he's doing now. And I think people are throwing some big bucks at him, and it's going to be a big deal, man. And so hopefully we can interview him on our podcast.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, if this is helps link up people with the cleaners and stuff like that, I'll tell my wife she can hop on if she wants to take on another house or two. I guess she can. I guess it's kind of like Uber. She can clean whenever she wants to, or kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if she wants to make a couple extra bucks, on a day, whatever. She wants to go clean a house and she can make a few extra bucks, and boom, she'll be one of the few that's on the app right now in our area.
Exactly, because in Dallas, where I'm looking to get clean, there's only two people. I only got 2 bids. So it's a market out there. If whoever has a cleaning company, it's a market out there.
Oh, they bid for it.
Yeah, they bid.
So you say I want my place cleaned for 50. Or how does it work? You say I need a place cleaned.
I just say I need a place cleaned, and they come to you with bids.
Oh, they say, oh, okay.
And then
cool.
you just go with the best bid or whoever has the highest reviews, and it reviews them too. So they have a review system. It's exactly like Airbnb, but it's for them to come clean your place. It's like you always say, man. Whoever has the picks and shovels, that's just gonna make the money.
That's it, man.
Straight up. I wish I would have thought of that app, man. That's pure genius. I was like, that's a genius app right there.
That's genius. So, yeah, so that you can create money out of thin air with this app. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. See if you get some clients in there. And how many arbitrages are you up to now?
I have a total of 6 corporate housing arbitrages going on. Well, hold on. I think that's including mine. I have technically 2 arbitrages, and then the rest are just I turned everything corporate. So in total in the DFW, I have a total of 6 arbitrages, 6 corporate housing, and then 2 are arbitrages. Because I'm slowing down on the arbitrages because I'm realizing, man, this TurnoverBnB thing, I may be able to just sit at home and do some clicking and make some money, man. I'm serious. I got and I possibly have another one coming. I might back out of it, but I'll see. I'm actually going to take over this dude's lease and at this complex, and I'll have 2 units in that one. But I'm going to see.
Because you Mahogany, because y'all renting a nice spot in downtown Dallas, right?
Yeah, we got 2 downtown.
2 in downtown, but man, y'all went in there and freaking made it awesome. You got all modern type furniture, nice style, posters, paintings, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all went in there. It looks badass.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work too. I remember she put on there. Y'all went and celebrated at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
because
man.
A lot of blood, sweat, and literal tears.
Dude, okay, so let me tell you what happened with this. I use Adam James's approach. I pretty much rented this place before I had the keys to it. So pretty much this place is already rented. I didn't even have the keys. This dude was like, yo, I want this place. I gave him an inventory of what I had. And he's like, yo, I'll pay you. I'll give you $2,000 a month for this. I'm like, okay, cool. So
real quick, how? Because he don't see pictures of the place or nothing. How does this work?
So, okay. Oh, I've got so much to tell you guys. So pretty much what I did with Airbnb, I stripped my face off of it, of my Airbnb profile, and I strictly put ShareBnB. I changed my whole profile. Like, hey, we're ShareBnB. We have this amount of condos, private rooms all across the U.S. So what people do is, but I put these corporate condo listings up. I had one corporate condo downtown, and I put it up, and I said, hey, this is going to be available September 27th. So the guy, he read my profile. He's like, oh, you have a bunch of corporate housing listings. I'm like, yeah. So he's like, hey, I see this one's full. Do you have any more? I'm like, I can get you one. So I already was talking to this apartment complex and I already had it in the bag. So I'm not going to act on it because I pretty much want to follow the demand, right? So I pretty much told this dude, I'm like, yo, here's the place. Here's all the amenities. Here's the pictures of it, like of the place. And then I was like, hey, this is $2,000 a month, right? Guy comes in. He's like, hey, I'll give it to you for $2,000 a month. So we get the keys 3 days before he's supposed to check in. We already had everything ordered.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, oh, damn. So we like start hustling. We get everything over there. We're moving. So we finally finish it the day before he's supposed to check in. So it took us 2 days to get this place ready. We got it ready, passed off the keys to him. He'll be there till September. The end of September. It's 2 traveling nurses. And they're willing to pay $2,000 a month. So I got the place for $1,200 a month. And then utilities, I'm only doing, oh yeah, by the way, I'm no longer doing cable in Airbnbs or corporate units. I'm only doing Wi-Fi. So I do the Wi-Fi is about $70 a month. So I'm all in for $1,270. I'm charging them $2,000 a month.
But you got to pay utilities and water and stuff too, or no?
Well, that's all included in the $1,200. It's an apartment. Water,
but,
trash, all that's included.
But utilities, apartments, you got to pay your own utilities, right?
Yeah, the utilities is like, oh yeah, that comes out to another $60.
Just about $60.
Yeah, because these are all small units, 1 bed, 1 bath.
Okay.
And it's only 600 square feet.
Okay.
And boom, I got it for $2,000, and I'm gonna hopefully, my goal is to up it to $2,500 a month when he checks out.
Yeah, that's when it starts to sound to me like it's more worth it if you get it up to like the 2,500 range.
Yeah.
Because those utilities, and I guess they pay for the water and trash and stuff like that, right? Okay.
See, but utilities, the max your bill will probably be on utilities in a 1 bed, 1 bath, 600 square foot, $70.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna clear a good, conservatively, $500 to $600 a month.
Hope.
Maybe more.
Yeah, probably a little bit more, but yeah, it's about conservatively $500-600. I only go in if I can clear 500. If I can clear 500, then I know, hey, it's worth my time. But man, it's a lot of opportunity out there, man. But yeah, we've been doing arbitrages. So one thing is I'm phasing out of Airbnb. I'm kind of just using Airbnb as an advertising platform at this point. And you have a topic on here that I really want to touch on. It's been coming up in a few different topics and conversations, not only in the Airbnb professional host group, but one of your topics was Airbnb and racism. You know what? And it's funny. One of our good friends, he said when he started his Airbnb business, his arbitrage business, he said he went straight in and he never put his face on his profile. And he goes, it's just better when you don't put your face on it because then there's no room for the guest to judge you as a host, which opposite, you know. So I was like, dang, you know, how's that working for you? He said, oh, it works good. And he showed me his traffic. He goes, this is how many inquiries I get, right? So I think it was a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago. I told you I took my face off. So when I took my face off, I started noticing I got a whole lot more inquiries. All different backgrounds, all kinds of people, way more inquiries. Now, and I'm like, dang, you know, and man, like the whole month, what month was it? May. The month of May, I made the highest amount this entire year with my face off my profile.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks that it's like that, but it's nice you made the most money you've ever made.
Yeah. So I was like, can't complain about it.
Real quick, what it reminds me of, back in the day, I was thinking of who's that that singer, the hardest working man in showbiz. What's his name?
I know you're talking about.
Get up, get on up. Oh, it's
James Brown.
James Brown.
Yeah, James Brown. Yeah.
I was watching a thing about him one day, and you know he was a pioneer. He was out there doing it, man. And they said on his earlier records they wouldn't put his face on the records because he was black.
Yeah.
And so they would put whatever image on there, but they would never put his face because he's black. And I was like, he's selling all these records like crazy, you know. And then when you said that, you took your face off the thing, and all of a sudden it went up. I'm like, man. I hate to, you know, talk about it. I mean, well, that's what we're here to talk about, right? But man, it seems like that stuff is real, that racism stuff. And it came up big time on our favorite Facebook page. Please sign up for that page. It's just pure entertainment. Airbnb professional hosts. Check it out and just get some popcorn. Oh man. So did you got the screenshot of what that dude said?
Oh my god. Let me.
This guy, man. He did.
Let me see, man. This dude.
I like Mahogany's response too. That was hilarious.
Let me see. Yeah, let me pull this up. So
that site, this is people go on there and they say, hey, this is my place, this is what it looked like, and this is what it looks like, and they ask for advice, they ask for tips, or they show comments of what guests have put on their thing, or guests asking for a discount. They ask people how to handle these different situations, right? And then there's a lot of newbies on the group. Hey, this is my first month, this is my first week, or whatever. I got my first booking coming. What should I do? I'm a bit nervous, and so
okay,
so he's fighting it right now. So one guy went on there, a newbie, to put his, this is what his concerns were about his first booking.
So yeah, this guy writes, okay, he takes a screenshot of the inquiry, right? So the inquiry. Let me just first start off say what he wrote. He said, "Hey, this is the first request I received, and I'm a little nervous. Any thoughts to share?" Now, the picture is this dude he's verified and he has one review. So he stayed in the Airbnb before. The dude, he pretty much is laying on a bed. He has on a fitted cap and he has on a tank top. Black dude, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So when I first read it, I was
you're saying there's no pit bulls and no gold chains and nothing in the picture?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
So the first thing we look at, okay, when I first saw it, I was already kind of taken back, but I was like, I'm going to give the dude the benefit of the doubt, right? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, maybe it's something the guy said. So he ended up posting what the guy wrote. This is what the guy wrote. He goes, hey, is there any way possible I can have a check-in of around 11 because that's when my family comes into town on a flight. Now, he says, hey, it's for 4 guests for 2 nights. So he's telling him already, hey, it's not just me, it's for my family. So the guy posts, right? He posts and says, hey, I'm a bit nervous. So people start asking him. This girl says, she goes, hey, well, why are you nervous? He has a review. Why don't you just look at the review? And then he just kind of shot himself in the foot with this next comment. He goes,
cringeworthy.
Yeah, just shot himself in the foot. And I'm talking the whole group just chewed his ass alive. He goes, oh, I'm worried my house, I just don't want my house to be used for drugs. So as soon as he said that, I already knew, I was like, oh, wow, are you serious? I'm talking, everybody just started going in on him. This one lady's like, yeah, this post is racist as fuck. And people were going in on him. And then after I read it, I was like, yeah, this dude. And I wrote Steve. I tagged Steve and Mahogany on there. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, this is the type of crap we were talking about. Hosts like this, and why people choose to avoid Airbnb. They know, hey, I'm going to be judged like this. And I think we talked about it with my friend Sean, who was like, yeah, man, I had on a nice suit and I got rejected. And then he had his buddy booking it for the room for him, and they got it. So
his white buddy.
Yeah, he got his buddy with white guy booking for him, and he got it. So it's like, I don't know, man.
And it's funny. It's kind of like it's a cross section of society in a way, that post.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I'll say it, most minorities are like, damn, it's because he's black is why he's thinking he's going to go there and do drugs. Mm-hmm. And that guy's like, no, it's not like that or whatever. He's worried about whatever. I guess he kept shooting himself in the foot more and more. and then I even put a comment on your thing. I was like, hey, I should put a minorities welcome badge on my Airbnb, and I'll start making bank from all these people that don't want to take them in,
Yeah.
and so Mahogany said something funny too. But anyways, she said something. What did she say?
I didn't get her comment.
Okay, well, she said, and she said, you see, he goes, and she looked at his profile, I guess. So, and he's Asian. He shouldn't be thinking that way, but he goes and marries a white lady, and now he's racist. I was like, damn.
Yeah, they were going in on his ass.
It was getting. People were going off on his ass, and I felt bad. Whatever. He did it to himself. But anyways, it's funny because, like I was saying about the cross section, because I guess minorities we're used to. Okay, yeah, we people look at us a little different. But and then there was white people on there like, I don't see the racism. I don't see what's going on. I'm like, I guess you got to kind of have to live through it a little bit in order to not look at the world in rose-colored glasses, you know.
Yeah, but it's like both ends of the spectrum. Like some people be like, "Oh, well, some people don't know," but then there was other people who seen it. Like the first dude who commented it knew it was gonna. Remember the dude who posted the little Michael Jackson thing?
Oh yeah, the popcorn.
Okay, this is how I knew. This is why I don't give people the benefit of the doubt. He was a white dude, and he already knew where it was gonna go as soon as he made the drug comment. Dude, like, posted immediately after. He posted a little Michael Jackson meme eating popcorn, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you just shot." He already knew. He's like, "You just shot yourself in the foot." So, I don't know. I think he sometimes, but when it comes to, and also I think this too. I don't think a lot of people read what he wrote in the comments section because I think they were just reacting off the original post. Yeah. But it was the people who saw what he said in the comments section were like, yeah, you shouldn't be one guy wrote, he's like, yeah, you shouldn't even be a host. Just go delete your profile. But no, I mean, seriously, it happens. But I guess some people, and it also depends on what you read on Facebook too, man.
I think someone said, "Oh, white people do drugs too."
Yeah. So, because remember I told you I talked to that travel agent, and she said that's why travel agents don't like Airbnb. She goes, if I book with some other platform where if I have a credit card I'm in with Airbnb, it's not like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. So I don't know, man. I need to get that minority friendly badge too. Maybe
we should, right? We should pitch that to the Airbnb folks whenever we go over there. I mean, of course, they probably wouldn't like that because you're saying all the other listings are racist then because we're the only ones verified. Verified minority friendly. I don't see that.
That could be nice. But they've already been trying to protect themselves with the whole, what's his name, Danny Glover thing. So, you know what I mean? Airbnb knows it's there. It's just they know they can't combat
it. And I guess we could either be mad about it or, like you said, you probably got a lot of bookings from minorities because they say, hey, he's probably going to accept me because, he's black too.
Yeah.
Yeah, or me too. I told you I got a lot of Latinos booking with me.
Yeah.
And I guess they see us and they say, okay, that's my people.
Straight up. I think you're always more comfortable with what you know. And that's why I was like, and also what I started to realize is humans in general, just humans, and especially in America, they rather talk to a company than a person. I noticed that. They rather talk to a company than an actual person that, you know what I mean? After I started doing that and they felt like they were talking to a company, they feel they were more comfortable. I get a lot of 5-star reviews. They're like, hey, this rental company, they're Airbnb, they're a great rental company. So, yeah.
Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah,
never thought of that.
Yeah, they rather you feel more comfortable.
They're more professional.
Yeah, they feel it's more professional. They get that vibe, even though it's still me sometimes behind the keyboard or my assistant. They get that vibe that it's a company, and they feel like they're more secure with their money if it's a company. I have less people running to Airbnb if they have a problem. They come to me.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
awesome, man. We've touched on a bunch of topics so far. Real quick, back to your that arbitrage with the 3-day thing. Right, automatically, I wrote something down. I wrote down deadlines are powerful.
Oh yeah.
And so you put that that was an extreme deadline you put. You gotta do it all up in 3 days. But it motivated you to not just be sitting there, we'll tackle it this week. We'll start a little bit more next week. I'll go put the paintings up, tomorrow. No, you have 3 freaking days to do it, man.
Yeah.
And you got it done and it looked beautiful and you got a renter in there. And then after he's gone, you probably be able to make some more money.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't come in at the 2,500 you expected, he came in with something just as powerful as that deadline that y'all needed to put to put the fire under you.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, he gave me a $2,000 deposit, so I got the place ready for free. I got all my money I put into it right back right then and there.
Oh, that's awesome. It's like you got a cash advance.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been pretty. I've been learning a lot, especially with like the past hosts, past guests, because like that was actually something from Adam James and from Al Williamson, because Al Williamson says, man, market, always be a proactive marketer, and that's what I use. Just market it. So I marketed it before I had it, and boom, got somebody in there.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
You remember how back in the day I told you that I started that Beyond pricing? I started on there,
Yeah.
and I still use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, well, the 30 days expired, but I'm still using it, and I never put a credit card on file, and I'm still using it.
Really?
And and they sent me after the 30-day mark. Okay, your trial's over. Please, we need you to update your card info or put some card info on there, and then and you can keep enjoying these wonderful prices. And I just never did it. But I still use Beyond pricing to adjust my pricing, do all the pricing and stuff.
Really?
And it's been happening. I mean, because I started, when did I start? October last year. So that's October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. We're going into June. It's already 9 months of me using Beyond pricing without paying one freaking penny.
I didn't think you'd figure out how to
But,
do that.
well, the thing is, I guess they finally caught up to me. They sent me a personal email today saying, "Hi, Stephen, how are you doing? We see that you're still enjoying our prices. Yeah, your trial expired, so we're going to have to shut off the pricing at June, blah, blah, blah." They gave a date. So my free Beyond pricing thing is finally coming to an end.
After 9 months?
I'm going to have to give up that 1%,
How did they send you a bill?
No, they just said to update my card stuff, and then I can continue to use it. If not, they're going to shut it off at this particular date. It wasn't like a stock. You know how they have automated emails. This is like a person that Beyond Pricing wrote me particularly.
Wow.
This guy got in under the cracks. He's been using our stuff for free. Where's our 1%?
Oh man.
And so
at least you got away with it for 9 months,
got away
man.
with it for 9 months. However much money that is, that's in my pocket. Thank you, Beyond Pricing. Hey, I'm cool with getting Beyond Pricing free going further if we drop their name a little bit on the show.
Let's call
and
them.
then get them on here, talk
Sure.
about it, and we might be continuing. We're doing this for y'all. We're doing y'all listeners a solid by telling you about Beyond Pricing. It's a great tool. Great tool. Go get it.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll call them.
And don't
Monday.
scam them for 9 months and not pay.
Yeah, that's a bad pitch. I don't know how we're gonna get past that one, but we'll hit them up. I want to hit up Beyond Pricing and Guesty, talk about some potential business dealings.
Some business.
Yeah, man. So I remember a while ago I said it would be smart for landlords with a lot of doors to just call up a person who does Airbnb and just give them the door, and they charge a flat rate, and their spots wouldn't be vacant sitting there.
Right.
So that's starting to happen a lot in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'll give you an example. This one dude up in Plano hits us up, and he's like, "Hey man, I have these. I bought this commercial building, and I want to turn it into an unmanned hotel." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm listening to him, and he's like, I'll and it's right, perfect location, downtown Plano. And he's like, "Yeah, I just want you to take the units." He has like 8-9 units. He's like, "Take the units and you Airbnb them and do whatever you want with them. Just give me $1,100 a month per unit." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, I'll show you the units." I walk in, man, and it's these 200 square foot units. it's these 200 square foot units with like a private bathroom, and I'm like, "What?" And I'm like,
$1,100 a month.
yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, I wanted to be a micro hotel." Because when I'm talking to him, I'm like, because at first I'm like, "Hey man, so it sounds like your competition is the hotel industry." He's like, "No, not really. He goes, "I'm gonna have amenities out here." He goes, "They can come down, get coffee, and there'll be a lounge area upstairs." I'm like, "So you have a private room with the bathroom and no kitchen?" And he goes, "There's gonna be a kitchen area outside, which is for everyone." I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, "Dude, that's a hotel, man." But he kept saying, he's like, no, it's not like a hotel. It's not like a hotel. I'm like, and he keeps telling me, and I'm like, "Well, what do you think this thing can make?" He goes, "Well, I look at the hotel prices in the area, and they're charging about $80 a night." I'm like, "Okay," but I'm like, "You're going to list this as a private room." I'm like, "What is Airbnb charging for private rooms in Plano?" And the highest I could find was 60. but they had like 128 reviews. So I'm like, I don't think that's gonna work, because I'm like, if you do $1,100 a month, and then you have to probably pay utilities on top of that. That's what you also have to ask them. I'm like, I don't see the benefit.
And then the cleaning fees.
Fee. I'm like, I don't see the benefit. But there's been a lot of people doing that, man. Like, y'all be careful if somebody hits you up with the whole, hey, I have a place. It needs to be, I want you to turn it into an Airbnb. One guy, he called me and he had foundation issues. He's like, do you think you could fix the foundation? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, what? But I mean, it's people are starting to get into that. I think Airbnb's growing business model, and people see advantages to it. So, yeah, man, be careful with that.
Yeah, be very careful with that. I had like gone to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I go into what I've been doing lately, because it's been, you know, life throws you curveballs and stuff, right? So we went to Mexico a few weeks back, and we went to go visit, you know, Lupita's family, you know, which is my family now too. And man, it was so freaking hot over there. May is like the hottest month down there in Mexico, in Guadalajara, and they don't have no AC in their house. So I'll set the stage. I'll try to make a long story short. But man, we stayed. So we were there for a whole week, and then if we did open the windows, it's fly season too. So flies that wouldn't let your ass sleep. And you have the fans blowing. It was it was pretty. It was a week of very little sleep and a lot of hotness and a lot of you know.
You have your baby with you?
And we had our baby with us. Oh. Yeah, it was just it was a rough week. But anyways, I mean, it was good seeing family and stuff. I'm already ordering them an air conditioner to get that situation rectified.
Yeah.
And anyways, I came back from there. I'm like, finally, I'm gonna get some good sleep. But a pipe under my bathroom broke here at my house, my current house, my prime res. And so I just heard water, you know, kept going and going after everything, you know, after you're done everything in the bathroom, the water kept running. It was coming from underneath. I felt some hot spots on the tiles. I was like, oh crap. And they told me it was a hot slab leak. Mm-hmm. I have a plumber friend. Anyways, they came in, and so they had to work on that. So we're staying at friends all week while they're doing that crap. And so I didn't get into, I was sleeping on sofas over there. So Friday rolled around. It was like a week later. Friday rolled around. And then my daughter started, you know, she had a doctor's appointment that day. Mm-hmm. And so they had, I don't know if the listeners care about this, but whatever. I'm just telling about my life a little bit. And so she was feeling sick that morning of her doctor's appointment. Luckily, she had an appointment that day for her 1 year old shots. Mm-hmm. And so she was throwing up. She was just kind of like out of it, you know. And my wife, and they took her, they examined her. They said they want us to take her to Fort Worth. Downtown Fort Worth to Cook's Children's over there. Okay. Cook Children's Hospital. Huge freaking children's hospital. And it's really cool. But I would never want to go there again, but it's a really nice place, you know. Anyway, so we had to drive all the way across town to go to that. And they admitted her because they said her blood sugar dropped to like 35. So they got her put her on the IV. Poor thing, she's crying and stuff because they're poking her and prodding her, and then they stick the IV in her. And anyways, so they wanted to admit us for the weekend. You know, I still haven't had I know I don't want to be selfish, but I hadn't had sleep since Mexico, and I got back, and I'm over here trying to chill on sofas, and then I get back, and I'm dealing with the broken pipe, and then we got stuck at the hospital, sleeping on those little. Anybody that's ever slept in a hospital room,
it sucks.
Which, hey, that'd be a good idea. Airbnb for hospitals.
For real, man.
Pimp out a really nice room for people, and then boom.
Yeah.
Anyways, but so sleep, you know, watching my baby girl go through all that stuff, sleeping on this like hard ass little sofa kind of sleeper thing, whatever. And we're there for the whole weekend. Thank God everything went good. She's doing fine and everything, and got the sugar back up. They said it was just, you know, she was just depleted. And so, but the second night we were there, the people staying, it was a Priceline. It was a Booking.com guest.
Yeah,
were in town. The ones that called me the prophet. Oh, are you the prophet? Prophet. I'm gonna make some profit. And so they called and said the AC wasn't getting that cold at the house. And I was like, oh crap, this is the middle of the night. I'm still in the same freaking clothes for 2 days because we're at the hospital all weekend. And I'm like, crap. This is like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, well, I gotta go check it out, man. I gotta go see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I hadn't changed the filter yet, for this before the summer, and it ended up being like the filter was really caked. I got that. I swapped it out, the filter, and it let it run for a while. And I got the AC back to cool again. Thank God it was only that. I wouldn't have to do some AC service or something like that.
Yeah.
But long story short, it was just like after the week in Mexico, getting back, sleeping on the dang sofa, now sleeping in the hospital, going through all this stuff with my daughter. And at the worst time, they're hitting me up with like, hey, the AC is not doing it.
Oh.
And I guess I didn't have something in place. Well, it was late at night. I mean, what the hell can I do? Yeah. I had to go out there and handle. And that kind of, I guess, I know we want to make it as much hands-off business as we can, but stuff comes up, man.
Yeah.
And we got to handle it, even if we're just, dragging, and it's like, feel like the lowest point of your life. You got your Airbnb there, and you're like, oh, crap, I got to go handle for these guests. And I did the right thing. I went there and fixed it and everything. And I guess at that moment I was like, why am I doing this? It was one of those moments where you question, why am I putting myself through this?
Mm-hmm.
And but everything worked out good, and got it back up and running. And I still need to figure out ways to 100% automate it, where I could get someone to go. But I guess all my connections, it would have been very expensive to send somebody out there. It was just a dang filter,
Yeah.
And I guess you just gotta push through the crap, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta push through it and do what you gotta do. And I did that, got through it, thank goodness. And this is a long story, but yeah, I mean, sometimes stuff happens.
Yeah.
And you gotta handle it, man.
And you know what? I start to see why people arbitrage in that case, because then you're like, well, dang, I got to go fix this crap. You know what I mean? And it kind of takes that off you, because let's say one of my people called and said, hey, the AC ain't working. I call somebody else, tell them to go fix it. You know what I mean? And they have to get over there and fix it because it's part of the contract that's in there. You know what I mean? And I start to see where I think Al and Adam mean by that, because I know right now I need to change the AC filter at my house because I do the same thing as you. I'm like, oh, shoot. But then I'm like, dang, it's way less maintenance, because I had to, when my last guest checked out, we had a leak on the roof. My roof was leaking, and it leaked down into the second story of the house, and it ruined some paint. So I had to get that fixed. So I understand, like, man, when we have our own Airbnbs where it's ours, man, the costs go through the roof, like easily, So yeah, automating it. Tyler Work said something the other day, and he said, because he's selling his whole Airbnb business. He's getting out of it. He's selling it. He goes, because this guy was like, how do I automate my Airbnb? He goes, I'm going to be honest with you, man. If you truly want an Airbnb where you own units, there's no way to fully automate it. And I think that's true. That has a lot of truth to it. If you own the unit, it's no way to automate it.
I guess unless you have a 24-hour on-call handyman, but even he has to sleep. Even he goes out of town. I mean, it's rough, man. And they talk about people get out of even renting houses long term. That's a little bit easier, but still, stuff comes up, and it's got to be fixed. Yeah. And you got to pay if you want to automate it and pay someone to do it. You're gonna be paying a lot of money, and that could make your whole profit could disappear in 1 year for one freaking thing, man.
That's true.
I don't know if the answer. See, I hate throwing ideas out there because, like you said, someone might grab our ideas and run with it. But there could be they can call themselves Airbnb fixers or Airbnb handymen, on call all the time. And they can Airbnb out their services for people that do Airbnb. Maybe that's the solution. I don't know.
That is.
Should I edit this out?
Yeah. Handy B&B.
Handy B&B.
Imagine if you... That's the next thing. Taking your Airbnb to the next level. Creating an app where you can like have a what's it called? Like a cook come over, handyman come over for your B&B. It's just like Thumbtack. That's what Thumbtack is. You bid on something, or you bid on something, and you be like, hey, can you provide this service? Imagine if you could do that with like breakfast, cleaners. Well, cleaners is already there. TurnoverBnB. Breakfast, handyman, Imagine if that was sitting right there at your disposal.
That'd be awesome. Then you'd be truly automated.
Yeah. Because I think right now that's the next step. How do you fully automate your Airbnb? If you don't own it, I think it's easy to do it. It's easy to do it. Like right now, something breaks at the arbitrage, I call somebody else. So
You call the apartment complex.
yeah,
And they fix it.
there you go.
Right away? Or do they care?
Yeah, if it's something like the air, they have to fix that.
That's the law, right?
Yeah, they have to fix that.
Because on someone on that Airbnb, no, this is on South Padre Concierge. It's a spot, another thing I'm on for people on South Padre Island. You know, they help each other out, they ask questions and where to eat, where to do this, when, you know, what kind of, you know, they ask all kinds of questions. And this lady was saying, hey, does anybody know a good laundromat on the island? I'm here with my family. We're renting the spot, and they said they have washer and dryer here, but it's so old and they don't even work. And I was like, and people were saying, yeah, go to this place you can do your clothes here. I said, wait a minute. That's bull crap. I told her, that's part of the deal she sold you. You're spending your hard-earned money. This is your vacation. Mm-hmm. And she's gotta get that fixed. You didn't ask her? Well, I don't want to bother any. I said, no. She promised you a washer and dryer. You hit her up, or you hit the landlord up, or whoever owns the condo, mm-hmm. and they got to get that fixed. Or reimburse you a nice chunk of change so you'd be out, because you have to go out there and do laundry. Oh, okay, yeah. I just told my husband what you said, and we're gonna go ahead and try to find her and see if she can do it. And this was like a couple of days later. I asked, so what happened? You know, I was messaging her. She's like, well, she said she's gonna try to get to it. Blah blah blah. I was like, man. And another guy chimed in too. He's like, yeah, you know, I rent out condos there. I take care of my stuff. If something happens, I get it fixed. You know, mm-hmm. I said, yeah. I told him I've been to condos in Padre because I've been looking for some, mm-hmm. and I've rented a few. And it's the old school vacation rental mentality. Mm-hmm. Some of these spots, I mean, they don't leave you toilet paper. They don't leave you a roll of napkins. They don't leave you a freaking one coffee filter. You're there, and it's bare cupboards, man. And some of them freaking, I don't know, I think some of them still make you bring your own sheets. I mean, it's crazy. I said, these people are still letting these companies run their units the old school way, and giving them 30% of their money to run these things. I want to be that company who's running it and don't have to supply it or nothing.
Dude, if you're in a vacation rental market, those companies are notorious for that. Like charging 30% and not doing shit. Oh, go to Brent. Now, if you really want to go to Branson, Missouri, they don't do shit and charge you 30%.
Bring your own pillow.
Straight up. Bring your own pillow. Bring your own sheets. We have a bed frame and a mattress. Here you go.
I still get people asking me when they come to town to stay at my Airbnb. Hey, do we have sheets?
Yeah.
Do you have pillows? Do you have
of course.
linens? And I'm like, yeah, I got all that stuff. Don't worry.
I didn't even know. Like, there's Airbnbs that don't have that. Like, I seen one dude when I was looking for a place in Chicago. He literally had an air mattress sitting on his bed with two pillows on it, man. I'm like, what? He's charging $130 a night. I'm like, are you serious? So, yeah, those places exist, man. And then, like, especially the ones that are in vacation rental markets where they're dominated by these old corporations that Orlando is big for that. Orlando, Miami, man. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. They're charging 30% to do jack squat.
Exactly.
Jack squat.
And I mentioned that on there. I was like, man, these companies, they need to, I mean, or these people, or these condos, people that owners. I mean, because like you said, the owners. A lot of times these owners start out with, oh, I'm gonna get a condo and our family can use it, and then we can rent it out when we're not using it, and then they just stop going to the island. Yeah. So they have this condo sitting there that they're paying on every month, and that's why. And they might live like 1,000 miles away, and that's why they rely on these companies to run it for them. They don't know anything about Airbnb or how to do it themselves, how to automate whatever. Mm-hmm. And pretty much. And I told that guy, and I was messaging the back and forth with that guy who said he had his condos there. I said, yeah, I've been interested in finding them, and what I've seen is a lot of the old school mentality where they don't do nothing for you. You know, Airbnb. I run some Airbnbs, and we go above and beyond. You know, we leave wine, snacks, maybe some beers. We have all the stuff they need to get started there. Some, of course, toilet paper for the at least leave some freaking. Someone gets to the hotel, they got to poop right away. You know, what is toilet paper?
Yeah, for real.
No trash bags, nothing.
Oh
Man, you got to go to the damn grocery shopping before you even step foot in the place.
So where do they find these condos? They don't. They're clearly they're not on Airbnb, right?
Well, actually, shout out to Leilani, my agent down there, because she works for one of those spots, South Padre Rentals, I think it's called, something like that. South Padre Island Rentals, and it's real old school where they have their office there on the island. People go to the office and say, hey, we're looking for a condo. Okay, we got these, and here you go. Here's some towels, and they give you the keys, and you pay them, and then you go to the condo, and so they're there on the island. And Vacasa, you heard of Vacasa?
Yeah, I've heard of Vacasa.
Okay, they're big on the island too. They're kind of a bigger company, and they're nationwide though. But there's still the mom and pop or the rental spots that are located on the island. You actually go over there and you go walk in and get it. I mean, who freaking does walk-ins anymore? Everybody does everything on the internet.
Yeah.
But Leilani, that part of her job, because there started popping up Airbnbs on the island, was to automate. It was to put all her spots on Airbnb. And she said it's been a real beatdown because she's used to doing it the old school, easy way. People check in, people check out, period. You don't hear from them, blah, 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 unless something crazy happens.
Yeah.
But Airbnb, she's got to have more stuff in the units, of course, to compete with the other Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Plus, she has to rely on her cleaners to tell her how it was when they went and cleaned it, so she can leave reviews, and she has to review the people, and she has to stay on top of it. She goes, "It's a lot more work." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Well, damn, it's about time y'all did something."
Yeah. For real.
But yeah, they're I mean, not saying that Leilani don't do nothing. She works real hard, but I mean the rental agencies like that,
Yeah.
It's they're having to kind of adapt to the new Airbnb way,
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. It's good for us, the traveler. I use Airbnb, so it's good for me when I travel. They're people got to up their game, but still, the island, man, South Padre is still behind the times. Yeah. And if that kind of gave me a little bit of encouragement. If I did get my own spot, I'd run it better than a lot of these rentals that do it. I mean, I'm gonna go above and beyond, leave some cool stuff for the people that come into town, and they'll remember that.
Yeah.
And then next time, even if they try to rent one of the old school ones, like, man, there's not even a roll of toilet paper here. There's not nothing. There's not a bottle of water when I get here. There's not a coffee filter. This guy had everything. We're going to go back to him. They're going to think about that.
Yeah.
And those little touches go a long way.
Yeah, that's true, man. Now, I noticed one thing you were talking about on here, and this is kind of going into it, how to get great reviews from your guests.
Okay.
And I guess, that's part of it, going above and beyond. One lady, I sent her flowers.
Really?
Well, she was at at one of our condos, and then her mom passed away. And, we were like, oh, dang. So we went online to this, and she was all the way in Windsor, California. We just sent her flowers. And she was like, oh, and she took pictures of them, and then she sent them to us through the Airbnb app. And, of course, we got a 5-star review, things like that. Delivery services, that's huge, man. Like, one of my rooms got messed up, or she was having a hard time checking in, and I just sent her, pretty much a gift card. Hey, here's a gift card. You and your family go eat $50, And there's things like that, how to get great reviews. But a way that I found to get great reviews is tell the guest, imply to the guest that you're going to give them a good review, and they'll give you a good review.
Yes.
Imply to them.
That's gold right there.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, we got a message today on the Live Let Thrive Facebook page. Everybody sign up for Live Let Thrive Facebook page and send us messages. We answer them quick. And I had a fan, an actual fan. I'll read it real quick for you because I just cut to the chase. Her name is Aliria Malin Salazar. I love your show. It's been helping me and my husband helping my husband and I tremendously. This past month, we've had launched our Airbnb business, so thank you. Question, why, this is funny too. I hope you don't mind me reading it. Why does it seem like the cheapest people are always the pickiest? So far, 2 of our early bookings, both at our lowest rate, have been complainers giving us negative private feedback. These people want a hotel environment at $65 a night. The first one I handled well, thanks to a lot of your good advice. But here we go again. It was 97 degrees here yesterday. Mind you, it is not humid here. Our listing states that we only have a portable window unit for our tiny carriage house. Plus, I even discussed it with the guest in previous messages. So she knew this. I can't control the weather, FFS, whatever that stands for. I think I know. For freak's sake.
Yeah, there you go.
And about the pots and pans, I don't wash them between visits. I just make sure they're decent and put them away. In my house rules, it's the guest's responsibility to wash all their own dishes, but as experienced Airbnb user, I always wash or at least rinse the dishes at the place before using them. Is this not common sense? Anyhow, I'm hoping that you can help with this response. With the response here, I wish they wouldn't have booked with us. I'll also send a link to our space. So she asked a good question, decent question, and I told her, and I thought about it. Yes, it is when you first start out and you start pricing your place low because you want to get the reviews initially going. You'll get the cheaper guests, the thrifty ones, and for some reason, I wouldn't say bad guests, but the ones that are paying the least, I guess it seems like they expect the most, right?
Yeah. Well, it's I find it to be an in between spot. If they're paying the lease, sometimes they feel like, oh, I'm paying the lease. And they also have that Airbnb stigmatism. Oh, I can leave a review, so give me everything I want. And then if they're paying the most, the high end up here, I noticed the ones who go to my high end properties, they just expect the Taj Mahal. Understandable. So you have to find that middle point to where guests.
The sweet spot.
The sweet spot. That's what you like to call it, the sweet spot. Because I've come to find that, honestly, this is my rule. If a guest asks too many questions, that's a red flag to not accept them. I'm serious. Like, it's a red flag. It's because they're asking all these questions, expecting all this stuff to be there. They're pretty much already showing you they're going to nitpick your listing. And most of the stuff's already in the listing, that, especially if they ask questions that are already in the listing. I'll just, I'm happy I have a little auto response set up that automatically goes out to them. Like if they have a whole bunch of questions, I have an auto response that says, hey, thank you, their first name. We'll be right with you. Sometimes I don't even respond back to them because we're like, I don't even want you staying here. So, and then it keeps your response rate up too, So sometimes if it's just 100 questions you send me, I'm not answering that crap.
And I did tell her too. I was like, the pots and pans, you got to wash the pots and pans. It don't matter if they didn't wash them.
Yeah, you got to do that.
And I was like, I know you said the words common sense and Airbnb, and those words don't really co-mingle too good.
No.
A lot of people don't have common sense.
No.
People been staying at hotels the whole time, and I guess they're used to, their hotels have cleaners, and they don't they don't have to clean the hotel room before they leave. A lot of people ain't trained yet. A lot of guests ain't trained yet.
Well, I don't know. On Airbnb, I wouldn't expect you to clean up after you leave. I do have guests that ask me, like, hey, should I clean? I tell them no. But I think that comes from, they feel like, oh, if I leave a mess, or like if I don't make the bed, they might leave me a bad review. You know what I mean?
And yeah. But it does help a lot.
Yeah, it does.
It just this is what we did because there are people that would sometimes like a whole freaking sink full of dishes or left freaking dishes all over the tables and in the rooms and stuff like that. People would do that. So I told you I learned this trick from the lady that we stayed at in Corpus Christi. Mm-hmm. She put it in the rules that she expects the guests to wash their dishes and to clean up after themselves, and they will get the way she worded it. I don't charge a deposit, but she charges a deposit, a $500 deposit, which people. Me, I'm not scared of that because I know it's not really a deposit. It's not an Airbnb. Is not a real deposit. So I wasn't scared of it. I could see potential renters being afraid of paying a $200 or $500 deposit. But me, I was like, it's not real. And so
you mentioned something there. You know it's not real, right?
I know it's not real.
I think when you do that $500 deposit, how big was this place?
Oh, this is small. It was like 400 square foot little condo on the beach.
Really?
Yeah, it was small.
See, then there's other people that know that too. So I guess it really wouldn't scare people off.
Well, let me finish that point. I'll get back back to that. But what she did by adding that, that they're expected, guests are expected to wash their dishes and put them. She even said goes a step further, put them away and all this stuff. And I don't mind doing that because I'm a host, and so I want to leave the place as good as it was when I left it. For the most part, I'm not gonna get on my hands and knees and scrub and all that crazy crap, but I'll leave it pretty much spotless when I leave, and because it's just out of respect. Because I guess just like waiters, they leave big tips when they go out to eat because they know how hard it is to be a waiter, right? So it's that kind of the same kind of deal, and so but the way she put it in her listing that the guests are expected to do their dishes and put their trash out at the trash can and stuff like that, and so. And I guess she hangs over and you go leave the place clean, pretty much leave the place clean. You'll get your full deposit back, and that put it in the people's heads. But I was like, I don't charge a deposit because I don't believe in charging a fake deposit. If it was a real deposit, it'd have teeth, but it's not a real deposit, whatever. And so in my listing, I kind of worded it like this. I said, finally, I wrote the whole, this is where we are. This is the restaurants around, and this is blah blah blah. This is the area, and finally, okay, please help us keep our prices low because it's an affordable house, and by helping us keep the place clean, we're not asking for perfection, but doing small things. See, it's all word psychological stuff, man. Doing small things like doing your dishes and putting the trash out front and sprucing up a little helps us a lot in keeping the prices low and will earn you a stellar 5-star review.
There you go.
And so I put that on the guest. Ever since I put that, no one's left one dish, man. Everybody's left the place spotless, and I've gotten all 5-star reviews.
Yep. Because when I changed, I have a little, I'm using Guesty. I have this little auto message that goes out, and it kind of does the same thing similarly. It just says, hey, thank you for staying with us. And if they haven't left a review, it'll send thank you for staying with us. We really enjoyed your stay. Thank you for booking with us. We'll be sure to leave you a great review as long as you leave us one. Boom. Nothing but 5-star reviews. If you imply that you're going to give them one, they'll give you one off the top. And then most of the time when that message goes out, I'll get a notification on my phone, hey, Deborah just left you a review, and it's 5 stars. So yeah, if you imply you'll get a 5-star review, they'll give you one quick.
I love that, man. That's great advice right there.
And also in my house, I do that too. Like I tell them, hey, just put the dishes in the sink, and I tell them to wash your dish and just put it in the dishwasher. And I've had no complaints about it. But me personally, the only reason I do it at my house is because it's my house and I'm still living there. But some places where I've read Airbnb lists, they want you to clean up after yourself. I'm like, I think sometimes it's over the top. They're like, hey, can you can you put the sheets in the washer? And I'm like, dude, they're on vacation, man. That's your job to do that.
Start a load of towels.
Yeah, start a load of towels for me. What? And I feel like, and you know what I feel like that is though? I feel like that's the people that are still hands-on, that don't have the cleaners in place yet.
Uh-huh.
You kind of mean, because you're like, okay, I need to turn this place over, and I feel like that's where a lot of people and even if I noticed the Airbnb host group, a lot of them are against that. They want to be hands on. Like even some of the people who come to the Arlington, like I don't know if you're at the last one, the Arlington short-term housing meetup.
Right.
Like they're fully against automating it. They're like, no, I want to do it myself. I'm like,
They will never grow, man.
yeah. I'm like, why? They're like, no, I just want to do it myself. I'm like, okay.
It's funny how you will grow faster and you make more money by allocating those tasks that you hate doing.
Easily.
It's just, it works. It sounds opposite, but it freaking works,
Because
right?
you can get more. You grow. I mean, and I've ran into a lot, even in the
You don't
Airbnb.
see Jerry Jones cleaning Texas Stadium
Exactly.
or AT&T Stadium after the games, right? Picking up
Exactly.
cups.
Yeah.
You ain't going to do that.
Exactly. And I'm starting to run into people. I'm like, you don't hire a cleaner? They're like, no, I do it all myself. I'm like, do you want to hire a cleaner? No, I do it myself. I'm like, okay,
They
why?
don't clean as good as I do. It don't
I'm
matter.
like, dude, I'm like, you can review your cleaner. If they aren't good, go get a new one, you know. But people are stuck on that, you know. And I think it's kind of like that being stuck on corporate mindset, doing work. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you can automate all this, you know. But I don't know. Like I met like 3 people in the short term at our own meetup that come. They're like, no, I'll do it myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm good on that. Have fun. You know.
And you said about asking a lot from the guests, and it's funny. Today I went to my work gym, first time in a long time. I think
Yeah, that's well.
my wife, yay, and the wife and baby. And so I went to the work gym for the first time in a long time because I had vacation and then all the stuff was happening,
Yeah.
and there was this dude in there. It's funny. I'll give him a shout out, but whatever. You know who you are. And we were talking about, I don't know, it started coming up with real estate. We were talking about yards first.
Yeah.
About doing yards. I hate yard work. And so I told him that, man, I ain't on top of my yard like I should be. I said I got 3 houses. There's no way I'm gonna be on top of my yards. And he's like, wow, you got 3 houses? And this older guy. He's like, yeah, I got 3. Oh, so you rent them out? I was like, yeah, I do one on long term, one on Airbnb. Oh, and of course Airbnb. He lit up. First of all, he wanted to try out being a landlord. He wanted to get him another house. Yeah. And then he's like, wow, yeah, that Airbnb sounds kind of interesting, blah, blah. We went and stayed at some, and I think it was cool. You know, this one place we stayed at charged a $500 deposit. But as long as we did we cleaned up after ourselves, and then we started a load of, like he said, the sheets or the towels or whatever. Mm-hmm. And before we left, and we did the towels, and we put everything back. And these people are like overboard. Put everything back, fix the beds again and all this stuff. Yeah. And he goes, and then we get all 500 of our deposit back. And I was like, dang, they expect a lot out of you. He's like, yeah, but we get the whole deposit back and this and that. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I busted his bubble a little. That's not a real deposit, right?
Wow.
they're dangling that deposit and turning people into their slaves, man, getting them to clean their places for them. But
for real, man,
more power to them if you're gonna roll like that. And I don't want to pull the facade away from the if people are listening to this cast, and they're guests, I'm like, oh crap, I'm giving away a trade secret. But yeah.
I mean, and I figured that's what people were probably doing. The people
don't go too far with it.
Yeah, because I've seen some that were too far. I'm like, start the load of clothes. I'm like, that's your job, man. What are you doing? But I mean,
I've had guests do that for me though, out of the goodness of their own hearts. Hey, we started a load of towels in there.
Question: were they hosts?
No, they weren't. I don't think I've had a host yet. I have not had a host yet.
Okay, I think I've had a couple hosts, but I heard the thing about don't have hosts, and they were like, yeah, forget it on the host thing. So, I don't know. Wow. But yeah, I don't think I've had many hosts.
You want to tackle one more? We're at an hour. You want to tackle one more?
Yeah, you had a few more than me, man. Go ahead and.
Okay, one more thing I wrote down on the sheet, and on my little cheat sheet over here. And because you and I, we haven't done this in a while, the face to face doing the podcast, and I was all hyped up to do it the other day. It kind of fell through, but I was like, even you were gonna do it remotely, but I was like, man, I wanted to. It's like LLT is my therapy. Yeah. Live Let Thrive is my therapy, and it feels good. And it's cool that we have the show, and then people are listening to it, and hopefully we're giving good advice to people. and we're learning a lot from our guests and stuff like that. But man, it feels so good to vent a little bit about what's going on in our lives, and about how our business is doing, stuff like that. And it really motivates me to want to do more, and especially hearing your stories, because you're kicking butt, and I'm doing okay too. And it's good to talk to other people, like-minded people. Your network is your net worth, as they say.
Yes, sir.
And this is really cool, man. As I say, LLT is my therapy. If you people out there, other people, listeners are out there thinking about starting a podcast, you should do it on whatever your favorite topic is. And it's just really cool. It's fun, and you meet a lot of cool people. And so, man. Thanks for doing this podcast with me, and I love it, and I wanted to keep going. Let's get it to 1,000 episodes. Keep going.
Yeah, we'll get up there, man. We'll get up there, especially with how fast we're growing, the picks and shovels that are coming in, the stuff we're learning from so many other people, man, and the people that are around us, like, man, the meetups we go to. It's a lot of stuff to come, seriously. And if you ever we've had a couple people that are friends. That are fans of the show that actually came to our meetups and met us. So if you're ever in Texas, Dallas area in particular, look up one of our meetups and come through, man. Meet us.
Or just holler at us if you're in town. We'll go say hi.
Holler at us if you're in town.
Have a beer, have a brewski.
Yes, sir. On you, though.
On you. Time is money.
There you go.
Well, all right, man. It's a good show. Good episode 57. Back at the saddle again.
Yes, sir.
And how do you want to wrap it up? Tell them about us, where we can find us, and all that.
Find us on YouTube. Definitely get to our Live Let Thrive. Oh, we have a fan group on Facebook. Join that, and join the follow us on the Live Let Thrive Facebook page. That's where we're going to be posting a few more updates. We've been a little busy, but we'll get some updates posted on there.
Sign up to do Airbnb through us.
Yes, sir.
Free consultation.
Yeah, sign up to do Airbnb through us, and it's a free consultation. If you live in the DFW area, we will come to your Airbnb personally and give you that good 5-star hookup advice.
Oh, sign up for Hostfully too while you're at it through our page.
Yeah, sign up for that as well.
Get you a guest book. Guest books are really cool. Do one. Get one.
Peace.
All right. Live, let, thrive out.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.